they started talking. I was sitting in the back seat and they were up front, and they started like talking about Tori and how because they had been texting her and calling her for like over and over and over again. And I was like, what's going on? And Mercedes was like, well, Tori moved in with me and she doesn't respect anything we say. She comes in at 3 o'clock in the morning, stuff like that. And like, she takes her stuff. And I was like, okay. And she was like, well, I don't want her to live with me anymore. And so I'm trying to find a way to ask her to leave. And so she kept calling Tori saying, when are you going to be home? When are you going to be home? And then Brittany texted her, I think it was off Mercedes' phone, saying, if you come in the house with an attitude, I'm going to fight you and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. And so they told me what was going on, and then I want to take a picture of you, that way like I can see what I did and I can show it to people or whatever. So she took a picture of her with her phone, and then they walked.
Okay, did she pose her for the picture? Does she actually move her in the position where she wants her so she can take the picture?
No, she just told her to put her hands down, and Tori put her hands down by her side, and she just like literally the way we're sitting right now. Right. She held the camera in front of her face and took the phone in front of her face and took the picture.
Right.
Well, April had called my phone because I had time to charge it. I got back and I got all my stuff, and I plugged my phone in. She had called my phone, and she told me, she was like, cops just came here and they took a statement from me, being April, me, Cara, and Brittany Mays. And she told me, she was like, we wrote on our statement that we haven't seen Tori in a month, and now we don't know what went on. So y'all need to get y'all story straight.
Okay.
And I hung up the phone.
Was that Mercedes?
No, that was April.
That was April. Okay.
Yeah, that was April that told me that.
We told them we haven't seen her in a month.
So me and Mercedes and Zach and Steven needed to get our story straight.
Right.
And so we didn't worry about it because we were just going to, me and Mercedes had already said, well, we don't care what they said. We're telling the truth, what happened.
Let's back up a little bit. When Steven and Zach are at the house, all right, and everyone's listening, they're saying that, if she shows up here with an attitude, she's going to get a butt kick. Mm-hmm. And we know Brittany's pretty hot to wail on her. And April isn't too happy with her either, and she wouldn't mind fighting on her a little bit. And so it's unknown how this thing's going to break. You never know how it's going to break. If they get there, maybe she puts up her hands. Maybe she does fight him. Or maybe she just stands there and gets her butt whipped. But there's talk about it there in the living room. Is there any point where Zach and or Steven are say, well, we'll keep an eye out so no one comes in and interferes with you or something like that? Were they what? Go ahead.
Well,
you tell me.
When Tori got there, they walked out the house and they said, we need to go somewhere, being Zach and Steven.
Right.
So they went to Zach's house. They were talking to his mom. And then as we were all walking, me, Tori, Brittany, and Mercedes, as we were walking back in the house, they were leaving. And I said, where are y'all going? And he told me that they were going to get gas. I thought they were taking someone to work. But they left, and then I hadn't talked to them until after everything was done when Mercedes asked if they would take us with them.
Right. Okay. So as far as you know, if I understand you, there's no clear idea that somehow Zach or Steven were going to kind of, keep people away or keep other people from coming into the house or alert them if anyone started to show up.
Yeah,
was there anything like that?
They weren't outside.
They weren't outside.
There's a window behind the couch that Mercedes was sitting on, and I was standing against the wall. I could see out the window, and there was nobody out there.
Okay.
That's why when they were all saying there being lookouts, I'm like, they weren't even there. Yeah, from watching the news, It was supposedly taken to put on MySpace, but no one ever said they were going to put it on MySpace or YouTube.
Okay, what was the idea of videotaping, though? I mean, was it just to sort of savor the moment at some later time? You all gathered over to Steven's house and basically enjoyed the videos.
Brittany Hardcastle was like, I want a copy of it, and I was like, okay. I was like, I guess I can make you a copy of it or whatever, but I never made a copy of it.
Okay. How many filming devices were used?
Just that one camera.
That one
camera. Which was my mom's camera.
Did anybody do video clips with a phone
No.
that you saw?
Brittany Hardcastle only took that one picture of her with her on her phone.
With her, and that was
with her own personal phone.
Okay.
I'm going to ask you a personal opinion of something, but why do you think things got carried as far as they did?
Because Tori, as long as we've all known her, as many times as people tried to work things out with her. She has emailed every single one of us numerous numbers of times and has threatened to fight every single one of us, but never has tried to.
How about the day of the incident, the fighting or the beating that happened to the victim? Why do you think it went as far as it did?
Because people were probably tired of her running her mouth and saying all that stuff, so they probably were like, in my opinion, okay, because she's always saying she's going to fight us and she's going to beat the shit out of us, well, okay, I guess I'm going to do that to her.
Do you think the camera had...
It might have encouraged it.
Encouraged it?
Yes, probably.
Did Stephen or Zachary, while the beating was taking place, did they ever come to the door?
As far as I'm concerned, no. Or as far as I could see, no.
And they never came in the house?
No. I know I told her once, I felt bad for her. Like I told my dad, when I got back to the house, my dad asked me if I could have stopped it, would I? If I could have stopped it, if I knew I could have stopped it, like if I wasn't afraid that Brittany would turn around and hit me, I would have opened the door and said, Tori, leave. I would have tried to help her. Like when you watch all the news and people say like we feel no remorse for her, I know I tell my mom at least maybe twice, 3 times a week that I do feel bad for her.
Okay.
Because things should have never gone as far as they did. Never.
Well, are you sorry?
If I had the chance to sit down and talk to her, or like if I could write her a letter and like give it to her without getting in trouble or getting I would.
But what would you tell her? I mean, what would you tell her? How would you word such a letter? What would you tell? And I'm not judging what you're saying.
I've been thinking about that a lot. Like, I guess I don't know. It's one of them things you think about like when you see it all. Like I didn't when I was in DJJ, I didn't realize what was going on till the night I got home. Like, when I saw everything on the news and all that, I felt like I was mad and I felt bad. Like,
You felt mad about what?
I was mad because everybody's saying all this stuff about us, and it's like people, they see because I was in the video that they feel the need that they're gonna write me letters and send them to my house saying when all this is over they're gonna kill me. Like, to me, it's like, if I could have stopped it without getting in the middle of it, I would have. Even if I didn't like the girl, to me, I can't say I hated the girl because I didn't hate her. I didn't hate her, but I didn't like her. Like, if someone was beating the shit out of her, if I could have stopped it, and I know I really could have stopped it, I would have tried to stop it.
Why couldn't you have stopped it?
I was afraid that because Brittany was so mad, I was afraid that if I were to try to get in between her and Tori, like if I were to try to stand in between her and Tori and tell her to stop, that she would have hit me. And being as how little I am, she would have done worse to me than she would have done to Tori.